If your Zoom calls still feel a little chaotic, unprofessional, or even boring, this is what's going to fix it. I'm sharing 20 of my top tips that you should know for 2026, including new features, hidden tools, and simple tweaks that can completely change how your meetings run. Hi there, I'm Betsy, and I've been on Zoom every day for years, so you don't have to figure this out the hard way. These are some of the best tips that you don't want to miss, like filters to make yourself look amazing on camera, built-in note takers that are automated while you're presenting, and don't miss tip number 8, which boosts your Zoom attendance exponentially. As always, the timestamps are below. Use them if you need them. Okay, let's get started. Tip number 1, instantly blur your background. If you're finding that you don't have a bit of privacy maybe behind you, you can turn on blur instantly. Watch this. So here you are inside your Zoom meeting and you're looking behind you and you realize that you need to Zoom from this location, but something behind you can't be moved. There's something there. There's a lot of stuff to be moved and you want to get started instantly. Then use the blur feature. What you do is you look down at the bottom of your screen, notice that the video button is in the bottom left corner and click that little up arrow next to video. And what you'll see there is right in the video menu, there is an option that says blur my background. Go ahead and click the little switch there and it turns on this blur feature. So it gives you this instant privacy, especially if you have to Zoom from a location that wasn't maybe set up for you. In this case, you can see sort of that there is background behind you, but it has completely blurred it. And a little tip for this, that you want some proper lighting to make it look real. If you feel that you are turning on the blur and you feel that maybe you don't see parts of your body, your head, your hair, your shoulders are maybe lost in this setting, the lighting that you have will really help. And I'll put a link to my list of equipment in the description, and you can take a look at that if you're looking for lighting. Tips number 2, 3, and 4 all have to do with your video settings, so we're going to go take a look in there. Tip number 2, portrait lighting. From inside your Zoom meeting, locate in your bar across the bottom that video button in the bottom left corner and click that little up arrow next to it. In the menu that appears, go ahead and choose the last option, which says Video and Effects Settings. On the right side of the screen, your Video and Effects Settings side panel opens up. Right there, underneath the preview of you, are the different categories. And on the Video tab, underneath, it has some settings for your camera and whether you are in HD or not. And then as you scroll down, you'll see this section for appearance. And right here, there is a setting for portrait lighting. Now watch this. With it off, the back of your room looks a little lighter. Hold, watch this. I'm going to turn it on. Now, the back of your frame, using the software, this is what the software is doing. It has dimmed the back and it gives it this portrait feel, which means if the back is dimmed a little and the front is lit up, then it gives depth. And this gives the look pretty nice, huh? And that is with portrait lighting, which is all built in. Tip number 3, touch up my appearance. Okay, this is one that I keep on all the time. In the same settings, located under Video and Effects, you'll see that the option there, it says touch up my appearance. And then underneath, it gives you a slider from low to high. And as you slide this towards high, what it is doing, it's actually smoothing out your skin. So if you have some wrinkles that you would like removed like magic, this is an option for you. Tip number 4, video filters. Inside your Video and Effects Settings sidebar, as we have been talking about the last couple of tips, this next setting talks about a filter. And a filter is some sort of graphic that actually lays on the screen, doesn't cover your background, because that's a virtual background. A video filter is as if you covered something over your screen and gives you a new effect. Watch this. Now, in the top categories where it says video, appearance, virtual background, backgrounds, click that little tiny arrow to the right there and you'll see it reveals some more categories like avatars. Click the little arrow again and there it is, video filters. With one click, you are viewing a lot of the built-in filters. Now, keep in mind that my screen might look a little bit different. I actually teach how to create your own video filter. And if that's something that you would like to learn, comment below video filters and I will send you the instructions in a video about how to do that. The built-in filters you will see at the top here, those are the ones that come with Zoom. And remember this top square that says none, because as you start clicking around in these filters, you're going to want to put it back to none to get it back to the way it was when you started. And as you go around, you'll see some of the filters that you click on are really fun. Now, some of the things that I'm clicking on, you might be seeing backwards in this video only because of the way I'm showing you and demonstrating. But any of the words, that come up are actually going to be right side, so it won't be backwards. And some of these filters are great for holidays or gamification. It's great for having fun in a holiday themed Zoom. Maybe even your business, your company is having a gathering where it would be fun to show your favorite filter. And these are all listed in the list here. So as you go down, this is probably my favorite. Very simple, flower in your hair. And these are video filters. As you go down a little more, you can actually turn on, there's actually eyebrows. You can turn on the color of the eyebrow. You can turn on a mustache. Keep in mind that each of these sections has none. So in order to put it back, you would have to do that. If you want to turn on lip color, you can do that. Let me make it really dramatic so you can see. There you go. Really fun. And you might be thinking, when would I use this? Why would it be necessary? Inside Zoom, there are so many of these different features. And if you are conducting a virtual event with a lot of people and you incorporate engagement and they get to participate, they get to do this too. And they're looking at all the features. Even if you do that on a 10-minute break and you tell them how, you have them go in, it's a lot of fun and people will remember your event and they will tell other people about it and they'll come back. You'll have this group of raving fans wanting to come to every one of your events. Tip number 5, view and save the transcript. Inside your Zoom meeting, in the toolbar, is a button that allows you to view the transcript that is being created. As the host of the meeting, you want to make sure you turn the setting on in advance so that when you start your meeting, the transcript is available. Your participants will be able to go in their toolbar and locate the transcript button. Now, keep in mind that if you don't see it in your toolbar, then you must go to the More button, the one with 3 dots. And when you click there, it opens this other menu up, and there you see at the top, it says Transcript. Go ahead and click there. That brings up this sidebar, which is showing you transcript of the meeting. It is listening to what is being said and it is transcribing it into text. What's great is that you can search the transcript at the top of the sidebar, and even better, you can save the transcript at the bottom when you click that button, and then it confirms for you that you can see the transcript and find it in your Finder on a Mac or in your File Explorer on your Windows computer. Tip number 6, unmute yourself with the spacebar. That's right. Inside a meeting, you can actually unmute yourself by just pressing on the spacebar and pressing and holding the spacebar button on your keyboard. And while you're holding it down, you will be unmuted. When you release your finger, you're back to being muted. So watch this. I'm going to start the demonstration by showing you when I'm muted, and when the mute button is on, it has that red line through it. Then I'm going to press and hold the spacebar and it opens up my mic like this. So you can see here, while I am holding down the spacebar, there is an icon on the screen that says you are temporarily unmuted. Beautiful. And then when you release your finger from the keyboard like this, you're automatically muted. This is how you make sure that that setting is on so that it works for you. From your Zoom toolbar, locate the settings button. If it's not there, then go to the three dot icon for more. When you click on settings, this opens up on the right sidebar, and you're going to go to display and controls, and then you're going to go to controls, and then you'll see there it says press and hold space key to temporarily unmute. And you want to make sure that's on. If it's gray like that, it won't be working. So you want to click it, switch it so that it's blue, and that means the feature's on. Tip number 7, share sound into your Zoom meeting. So in this example, you're in a Zoom meeting where you want to share some sort of audio, but you don't want the music or the video to show on the screen. You just want the sound. And this is how you do it. Start in your Zoom toolbar and locate the share button. When you click there and this share window opens up, you're going to go across the top. Notice that there are 3 tabs: screens, files, and more. Click on more. And in the next screen, you'll notice that you have a series of options. And in the middle row, you'll look for the option that says computer audio. Go ahead and click there. And in the little tiny down arrow in the corner, you want to just check to see if you want mono or stereo. If the sound that you are playing in the meeting was recorded in stereo, then you want to choose stereo here so that it can be played accordingly. And then click share at the bottom. At this point, when you play the audio like this, your audio plays right into the meeting, and you can be looking at all of your participants in gallery. They do not see the video. They don't even see the screen that it's coming from. Your audio from your computer is broadcasted into your meeting for everyone to hear. When that portion of your meeting is over and you want to stop sharing the sound, you're going to click at the top of the window where you see that you are sharing the sound. It's actually in a tab up there. When you click there, this screen opens up, and next to it, there's a little circle with 3 dots. And when you click there and then you click on stop share, you'll go back to presenting without sharing sound. Tip number 8, play video in your waiting room. This is one of my favorites. Imagine this. People click the link that you shared, and when they get there, and the first thing they see is a video playing with your logo or you talking to them, looking right at them. Or maybe it's some trivia across the screen that's keeping their attention and they don't go anywhere. This is the type of tip that you're going to use to keep your attendance boosted. They're going to stick around until that Zoom meeting starts, and when they get in, they're going to have so much to tell you about it, and this is how you do it. It all starts here in your Zoom web portal at zoom.com, and on the left side of the screen there, you're going to go to settings, so that on the right side of the screen, you are in here in your settings in the security section for your meeting until you see here waiting room options. And then when you click on customize waiting room, you are going to be prompted, and on the left side there, you can indicate that you have a video to put in there. Now, create your video ahead of time. You can record yourself. You can even record yourself in a Zoom clip, and it can be you talking on the screen, and people will listen. Maybe you want to prepare them for what's about to happen in your Zoom event, or maybe you're giving a promo for something that is up and coming. Either way, they're going to stick around. You could just give them pictures of past events and put music behind it. And all of that can be created in a photo editing program or a video editing app that is one of your favorites. And when you take that video and you upload it in here, it will play as they're waiting for you. Now, in this example, this is one of the videos that we play inside our waiting room, and it is somewhat of a promo of what I do and who I am. So you can see here as I play it. Hello, good morning. Well, welcome. Nice. And it's just showing different clips of different events that I've been in, so that someone who comes to my events and they're not quite sure if they're in the right place, well, once they see my face, my name, they hear my voice, then they know they're in the right place and they're not going to leave. If you do not customize this, what they will see is this generic Zoom logo. And I'll tell you something, as it is, people don't really know what to expect when they're coming to a Zoom meeting, even though Zoom has been around now and has become very popular. On the flip side, if they see this Zoom logo, they may not read the top of the screen. They'll only see the image and they'll be indecisive. They're not really sure if they did the right thing. And then they might leave, and then you're losing attendance. So do yourself a favor and come in here and customize it. Now, for this, you will need a paid Zoom account, but it's one of the best reasons to upgrade from a basic to a paid. And if you want some more information about licensing and how you would would upgrade and what that would look like, leave me a comment and put the word pro, and I will get back with you with a way to connect with me and we can talk about that live. Tips 9 and 10 go together because they have to do with the built-in tool of Zoom called AI Companion. Using artificial intelligence, these tools are integrated inside your Zoom account and they allow you to save time by taking notes for you and allow your participants to ask questions while the event is going on. Watch this. Tip number 9, ask AI questions inside your meeting. Your participants can ask questions to the AI companion assistant while your meeting is going on. To bring up the side panel, they are going to find this icon in their toolbar. As their host, you can turn this on for yourself using the icon in the upper right corner. And then click Ask AI Companion. And that is the sidebar where you'll see that there are preset buttons where anyone now can say, catch me up. And what the AI Companion will do is it listens, as it has been, to the transcript that has been going on since the start of the meeting. And it generates for you a summary of maybe what has gone on since maybe you had to step away. Because even if you are the host, you could have somebody else in the meeting presenting. At the bottom, when it's done generating, you have some other buttons that you can follow up. So it asks you to create tasks from action items. You can ask, what are the 20 Zoom tips that were covered? And you're finding out in this video. This AI Companion panel can stay up on the screen during the whole meeting. And there are other buttons like, was my name mentioned? So if someone does have to step away, they can come back and see if their name was mentioned while they were gone. So the Zoom AI Companion is listening the whole time. And it's very helpful, especially with topics and content where people tend to ask repeated questions, especially about terminology or vocabulary with certain presentations or classes. Tip number 10, AI smart recordings. When you visit your Zoom web portal prior to a meeting and you turn on this feature for smart recordings, Zoom will automatically listen to your recording and create highlights for you automatically. It's like your built-in video editor. Watch this. So from zoom.com in your web portal, when you log in, you'll notice here I am in the AI Companion section. And all of these settings help you to tweak how you want your AI Companion to work prior to your meeting starting. There are settings in here, including how your AI Companion will work while you're recording. You can see here in the recording section, it says Smart Recording with AI Companion. So you want to make sure that is turned on prior to your meeting starting. Then you can see here, you can also check off if you want Zoom to record with highlights. And what the highlights are, it takes the meeting details and the transcript, the audio transcript, and it actually highlights these sections for you automatically. So that when you record to the cloud, inside Zoom, there is a cloud area that you record to, and you would have to do this to get the highlights. So when you record inside your cloud, when you have a paid Zoom account, you do have cloud recording space available to you. And when you record to the cloud and you have those settings set, Zoom automatically makes these automatic highlights. So you can see here under the video thumbnail where it says watch highlights. And when you click there, this is the result of what you get. Zoom has automatically taken the transcript and broken it up into these little highlights. And those are all highlighted underneath with those little yellow sections in the player bar. You can even take this video, you can see right underneath there, it says you can edit the highlights or you can even save the highlights. So you can take the video out of the cloud and put it in your clips library. This is a wonderful tip. And if you want to be the first to know when the next round of training comes out for the Zoom Business Academy, where I cover all of this in-depth training about how to use AI Companion efficiently in your Zoom rooms, how to incorporate your waiting room so that you can boost your attendance and learn how to use all of the engaging tools like surveys and polls, quizzes, even breakout rooms, then get yourself on the priority list for the Zoom Business Academy. And I'll put the link for that in the description. Tip number 11, draw arrows on your screen. Yes, with a built-in feature inside your Zoom called Annotate, you can present with arrows on the screen, even circles and squares, and even shade certain areas so that people know exactly where you are demonstrating from. Watch this. From inside your Zoom meeting, when you are sharing, this is the only time Annotate can be used is when there is a share in progress. In your share bar, you click on the Annotate toolbar button. When you do that, the Annotate toolbar appears. And the fourth button down looks like a pen or a pencil. And when you hover over it, it says draw. I want you to click there first. I don't want you to start drawing because you will get this sort of freehand scribble. I find that it's not as professional as when you click on the button and then choose one of the shapes below. So in the second row there, click where there's an arrow. Before you start drawing, decide what color you want the arrow to be. And that is a few more buttons down where you click on the color, choose the color that you want, and then you can even go back to the arrow and pick the line thickness. So the line width is shown above where you choose your shape. And so you can choose thin, regular, thick, or bulk. And if you do thick, which is one I use most of the time, while you are demonstrating, you can draw arrows on the screen. When it's time to move on, you want to use the trash can in your Annotate toolbar. Click the trash can and you'll be able to clear all drawings. Tip number 12, turn off the waiting room after your meeting starts. This question is asked so often. You see, the waiting room is so important because it gathers all of your attendees and participants before your meeting starts. But once the meeting is in progress, many hosts and presenters and instructors will ask, can I turn that off once my presentation starts? Because I don't want to keep looking at the waiting room list to make sure no one is hanging out there and they're not inside the meeting with us. And this is how you do it. Inside your Zoom meeting, you must be either the host or the co-host to do this. And in your Zoom toolbar, you're going to look for this button, which says Host Tools. If you don't have that button in your toolbar, it's most likely under the More menu, which is the 3 dots. When you click on Host Tools, the side panel opens up, and right there at the top, you can see of the 3 options, the middle one says Enable Waiting Room. If the option is blue, then the waiting room is on, and people will still be hanging out, being collected in the waiting room while your meeting is going on. So when your presentation starts, either you or one of your co-hosts can do this. You can switch that off and now it is disabled. And anybody who enters your meeting with the link that you've shared will come right in. Tip number 13, save the Zoom chat. In your chat that is provided inside your meeting, when you click on it, the chat is displayed on the right sidebar. Anyone who is attending your meeting can actually save your chat by clicking on the 3 dots that are at the top there, and they will have this option which says Save Chat. The chat that is saved will go to their local computer inside their Documents folder in a subfolder that Zoom puts on there. There are actually subfolders for every meeting that they've attended where they have saved the chat. On a Mac computer, that will be in their Finder, and on a Windows computer, it will be in the File Explorer. Tip number 14, assign a co-host. When you are inside your Zoom meeting and you are trying to make sure that people are muted and make sure that everyone has come in from the waiting room, maybe you have breakout rooms coming up and you want to make sure that you have enough rooms and it's time for people to go from this main meeting room to the breakout rooms, or even you want to launch a poll or a survey and put that link in the chat. Well, if you are also trying to present while all of that is going on, having a co-host would be a great opportunity because the co-host gets almost all of the capability that the host has, except for a couple of things. There's only ever one host in a meeting, but you can have numerous co-hosts. So this is how you would assign a co-host. Starting in your Zoom meeting, you're going to open up the participants list, and that's with the participants button. It looks like this. Everybody will be listed here in the participants list. Now, I would advise you to ask the people who are going to be your helpers, your team, to come into your meeting early so that everybody else who's attending your event is not in here with you yet. And then what you're going to do is you're going to hover over the names of the people that you want to assign as a co-host and go to the 3 dots right beside their name. And then on the menu, you're going to choose Make co-host. When you click there, you will get this little confirmation where you click the blue button to confirm, and now next to their name you will see the word co-host. In order for that feature to be available to you inside the meeting, you must enable the setting ahead of time before you even start your meeting. And if you want to be sure that you have covered all of those settings that are needed, grab a copy of my Zoom Mastery checklist where I've outlined all of that for you, and you'll find a link to that in the description below. Tip number 15, show the raise hand in the toolbar. When it's time in your Zoom meetings for people to ask questions, there is a tool inside Zoom that they can use called Raise Hand. And when they click on the button, a raise hand symbol shows up in the corner of the screen. They are also actually moved inside the gallery to the top row so that when you are the host and the presenter, the instructor, you are actually notified of someone who has a question. It's so important that they can actually find this button. So to make it easier for them, you can actually turn on a setting that puts the raise hand button right there in the middle of the toolbar. And this is how you do it. So here we are inside the Zoom web portal at zoom.com. You can see on the left side, we are at settings. And then on the right side, we are in the basics section. So these settings, this is one long list of settings that you will want to get to know very well before your meeting starts. And as you scroll down in the basics section, you'll get to this setting right here, show raised hand in toolbar. Just make sure that's turned on. And then when your meeting starts, you'll have that extra button in your toolbar ready to go. Tips number 16 and 17. We'll do these together because they are listed together in the settings. Look at this. Here we are at the web portal at zoom.com, and we are in the section of basic in-meeting settings. And you can see here, a little bit further down on the screen, you can see when you get in here, this is where you enable a lot of the settings that we've been talking about. A lot of these tips and tricks are related to tools that you need to make sure are on in your settings. And we get down to this section and it says gesture recognition. And what this is, it allows users to activate reactions based on the following gestures. And there's 6 of them. Now get this, without clicking a button, you can actually turn on gestures. So this is what it would look like. So when you are here inside the Zoom meeting, you want to also double check that the settings here in your Zoom Workplace app are also set for hand gesture recognition. And so to do that in your Zoom toolbar, you want to click on Settings, and then in the sidebar, go to Display and Controls, and then go to Reactions. And from Reactions, you're going to notice there that it says use hand gestures to activate reactions. Now, this is where you're going to hold the hand gesture. I'm going to show you what it is for at least 2 seconds, and then you'll see that the reaction turns on automatically. So the first one in this series is the raise hand button. When you hold the raise hand at about a 90-degree angle to your body, your Zoom application will start to realize that you want the digital hand to raise, and just magically it appears in the upper left corner. And you can say that without clicking a button. If you want to lower your hand, the person who raised their hand must lower it themselves. A host or a co-host can also lower someone else's hand for them. The next one in the series is the thumbs up. So when you hold the thumbs up, again, about a 90-degree angle to your body, this is more of a reaction. Reactions with these emojis will only stay on the screen temporarily, and then they will disappear after so many seconds. The next one in the series of hand gestures is the OK. When you hold up this hand gesture, Zoom will automatically assume that you want that reaction. And when you give a reaction, you can do this while you're still muted. The next 2 in the series are really neat. Watch this. You can make a heart with your hands, and the heart are almost animated coming out of your hands. A really nice effect. You can also hold 2 thumbs up, hold them there, and your Zoom app will start to celebrate. And then finally, one that I'm not as much of a fan of, but it is there. You can actually make it seem that you're not too fond of it. And you do all of that without clicking a button. Tip number 17, use reactions as a casual poll. Inside your Zoom meeting, in the Zoom toolbar is a button that says React. And when you click there, you get this list of different reactions. The first row are emojis that are animated. So as they are clicked, they actually float up the screen. Keep in mind that you have to have your video on. Your camera must be on in order for that to work. If your camera is off, you will only have the next row of emojis. So if you choose to react without unmuting yourself, then people will see your reaction on the screen via an emoji. And in that second row, in this case, the emoji floats up the screen or it hovers up there in the corner only for a certain amount of seconds and then it disappears. You can also get some more emojis using the 3-dot icon, which is right there at the end. And then you have a full database of emojis that you could play with and react. The next row starts with a green circle with a check mark and a red circle with an X. And this is a great way for the host or the presenter or the instructor to ask the audience a question and say, please answer with a yes or a no. And in this instance, after you've asked the question, the person who is looking to see how everyone answered can go to the participants list. And then over here, as the host, you are given a tally at the bottom. Now, of course, in this instance, we are recording and we don't have necessarily a full room, but with a full room where maybe 75 people answered yes and 30 people answered no, and you don't want to go through and count them all up, this tally acts as a perfect casual poll. And in order for that casual poll to go off without a hitch, you want to make sure that inside here in your Zoom web portal, you go down to where it says meeting reactions, and you want to make sure that that is enabled so that you have that button and all of your participants have that button when you are inside a live meeting. Tip number 18, use breakout rooms for increased engagement. Breakout Rooms is a feature that sets Zoom apart from the rest. When you are a host or a co-host, you will have this button in your Zoom toolbar. And when you click there, it opens up this option of taking everyone in the room and breaking them up into separate rooms. And so at the top there, you get to increase that number from 1 to how many rooms you want. Now, when you have a room full, let's say there's 100 people in this room, down here at the bottom, where right now it says 0 to 1 participants, because right now we're recording and so there's only 2 of us in the room. So Zoom is doing a mathematical equation and it's saying everybody in the room, will divide them up and there'll be so many people in each room. And so you'll look down here and it will take your 100 people and it'll divide it between your 13 rooms and you will get the right amount of people per room automatically. And that's with this first option, assign automatically. You can even choose to include your co-hosts in the breakout rooms or not. If you want your co-hosts to stay here in the main meeting room with you, you're going to remove that check mark. The next option down is to assign manually, and that's when you have a room full of people that are either coming to you from departments, regions, different organizations, and you know you want to either keep them together or you have certain pairings that you know should be together because they're working on a team project and they should be assigned together. Assign manually will let you take everybody who's in the room, pick them by name, and put them in the proper room. And then finally, let participants choose. This is a way to actually hold your own virtual summit here inside Zoom. You could actually create, I wouldn't necessarily create 13 rooms. You could create, let's say, 5 rooms and have 5 experts here with you. And when you open the 5 rooms, your 5 experts can be co-hosts and they can go to those rooms. And then everybody here in the main meeting room will have a menu and they can actually choose which room they want to go to. It's great for having different speaking events in different rooms and allowing people to switch between them, very much like a summit that you're holding virtually here inside Zoom. Now, to make sure that you have that breakout room feature, you want to make sure that you go here inside your Zoom web portal, make sure your breakout room is set to on or else you won't have that setting at all. And then furthermore, make sure that you check these checkboxes, assign the participants to breakout rooms when scheduling, broadcast message to the participants. That allows you to broadcast your voice as well. So make sure you check off those buttons, including you want to allow the host to view activity status of participants in breakout rooms. And that allows you to see who is sharing their screen, who is talking in a breakout room, and who is on camera. Tips number 19 and 20 round out the list with the most amazing features. You know, these two next tips really describe Zoom as a business communication platform rather than just video conferencing. Wait till you see what Zoom has now. Tip number 19, use My Notes. This new My Notes feature uses the transcription ability of Zoom to take your spoken word and record it directly into a transcript. The My Notes is available not only inside a live meeting, but it's also available on the home screen of your workplace app. So located here on the home screen of your workplace app is this button here, and it says My Notes. Now, right now we're recording and we're in a live meeting, so it says return to note. But when you go to your home screen, you will see that it is a feature that allows you to record a conversation and summarize it into a transcript. So as you can see, when you click the button, it will start transcribing. Now, we have been in a recording session here, and so the transcript has been going on, and you can see, you can scroll back and see what has been talked about. This is available inside your app. You don't even need to be in a live meeting to use this feature. It's quite powerful. And yet, when you are inside a live meeting, you have this little notification on your screen that My Notes is in progress. And you can see actually while I'm speaking, there is a moving graphic that's indicating that I'm speaking. Watch what happens when I stop speaking. And then as I start speaking, it starts up again. So it's listening to the spoken word. You can actually pause My Notes if you're going to talk about something you don't want on the transcript. And then finally, you can actually click on that double arrow and it expands out the My Notes feature into a sidebar. You can also get to My Notes. Well, you can move that little icon out of the way, but up in your meeting toolbar, there is also a little pencil, which is the My Notes icon. And then here you get some options that you can auto start the note for future meetings or allow everyone to use the meeting transcript as well. So you can provide this feature to everyone who's in your meeting, and then they can take notes. They can have the meeting being transcribed for them too. That's not for everyone, but it is a fantastic feature that is now included in your Zoom account. Tip number 20, use voice recorder with AI. This feature takes the power of AI and the use of transcription and it brings it to the workplace app on your mobile device. So here we are inside the web portal at zoom.com and we're in the AI companion section and we're actually down in the recording options. And you can see here that there is this feature for smart recording, which is right ahead of the feature for voice recording with AI companion. So you're going to want to make sure that that is turned on. And take note here that the voice recorder with AI companion transcribes and generates a summary of your conversation. And this is the voice recorder that you will find on the mobile app. Now, as we just mentioned in tip number 19, if you have updated your Zoom workplace app, you are now seeing My Notes inside your workplace app on your desktop. And you'll also notice that inside the settings here on the left sidebar where it says My Notes. So when you click there, you'll notice that if you're not seeing these settings that I'm talking about here, you want to make sure that it's turned on and then you get to try it on your own. And then at the top of the screen inside here in the web portal, notice all the way across from left to right, there's actually a section for notes. And then you want to make sure that this is enabled as well. So you can see here, this lets you double check that you have enabled My Notes, that you're allowing transcription of your meetings with My Notes, and that you want AI companion to generate the content. So here is a place that says, if you're thinking to yourself, I don't know if I want to use this right now, you can turn these off, and this would be off for all of your meetings. But if you want to use the mobile app, you can install the mobile app from either the Google Play Store or the App Store on your mobile device. When you have the Workplace app installed on your mobile device, it not only shows you the meetings that are scheduled and upcoming, it also shows you along the bottom, you have your clips here, your whiteboard, you have your notes as well, but you also have on the home screen the record button that you see there at the top on the right-hand side. When you tap record, this uses the AI feature built in as well as a transcription service, and it's all included in your Zoom account. And so while you're speaking, you could take this, you could use your mobile device as long as you have the permission of whomever you're speaking with, and you could put your mobile device in the middle of the room and it will capture the conversation. And it's great for in-person meetings. So here you're using Zoom as a feature in an in-person event. And so you can see that the powerful tools that are built in that have transformed Zoom from a video conferencing tool to a business communication tool. And then when your conversation is done, you will tap that check mark at the bottom and say end recording. And then this finishes up and brings you back. Now you can see there on the top, it says Zoom Coaches voice recording. And underneath there, it says voice recording has been captured. Summary and recording will be available soon. To find the recording, you're going to go to your web portal, and then on the left-hand side of the screen, make sure you're in recordings and transcripts. And then the voice recording that you recorded on the app on your mobile device will be shown here. So as you can see here, we've got 2 recordings that are processing in our Zoom cloud. And the first one there in the first row, underneath it, it says Zoom Coach, and that is the Zoom Coach's voice recording that I just recorded on my phone using the AI recorder. So you can be out and about at your in-person meetings using the voice recorder, capture it, it transcribes, and then it's in your Zoom cloud immediately. If you want to stop guessing and start feeling confident every time you show up on Zoom, start with these tips. And if this video helped you, make sure that you give us a like and subscribe and let me know in the comments, which tip are you going to start using first? And then I'll see you in the next video.